Yende Sanji Kindo Nyamdanya, Kadin Sangi Kinle Labingin, so Lame Jabla Chatselo, Lebra Shimbe Lodi Kidu. Respected Mahasanghas, Your Excellency Speaker, Honorable Chairman, distinguished guest, my dear Dhamma brothers and sisters. Over the past 2 days, we have been fascinated by many eminent speakers on various topics, findings, and research. But I may not be able to aid charm even then, having relied on the sutras, tantras, and the words of the excellent, so I'll try my best. The topic I'm going to talk is on empowerment, oral transmission, and verbal instruction, which is a pillar for the Vajrayana Buddhism. Among the many rational and importance I wanted to outline is, in Vajrayana today, faith is readily lavish on the recognized reincarnated lamas, tekos, I'm sorry to inform, but less attention is given on the teachings often given by the qualified lamas, which lack the title of teku. So my presentation, based on my research dissertation, will outline the tradition in which Vajrayana Buddhism has been transmitted and received in order to clarify potential misunderstanding. Now, in general, what makes Vajrayana or this Vajrayana distinct from Sutrayana? Although both have as their final goal the attainment of Buddhahood, but Mantrayana differs how the attainment is obtained. So according to the schema of Nalanda tradition, so there reveal two vehicles of the method, the Sutrayana method and the Mantrayana, which other words is called the method of perfection and the method of mantra or the excellent. The paramita consists of the 6 or the 10 perfections, which says it takes 3 incalculable eons to attain Buddhahood, whereas the Mantrayana literature claim that if we follow the Mantrayana path, we can achieve enlightenment or the Buddhahood in a single lifetime. Example like Chichen Milarepa. Now, however, the practitioner following the both methods should follow or should adhere the Bodhisattva vow. And to this pillar, so these 3 teachings are indispensable. So now coming to the tradition of Vajrayana, who taught this Tantra? So there are various depictions of what a Buddha is. First, there is a version that is found in the Pali Canon, Mahāyāna Sutra, and the Tantra literature. And the type of Buddha, according to Mahāyāna Sutra, is a complete different form. The complete different form in the sense that is the one who manifested in many different forms in Buddha fields, who teaches to the hundreds and thousands of devas, asuras, and gandharvas. Now, so if you think, well, did the historical Buddha teach like that? Then we get very confused. A Buddha that appears and teaches the Tantra, is another type of Buddha. In what form? In the form of a Vajradhara, Yamantaka, Chakrasamvara, and Kalachakra. So now we should make sure what we think. Now we ask question ourselves, Are they all Shakyamuni Buddhas? Are they the same person that we find in the Pali Canon, Mahāyāna Sutra, and Tantra literature? I should say definitely. Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes. Now, how do we envision such a person in types of Pali Canon, Mahāyāna Sutra, and Tantra literature? So we can envision this person with Pali type of vision, Mahāyāna Sutra, and Tantra literature. Then we get three ways of looking at the same thing. Of course, if we go deeper, it will bring very complicated and sophisticated answer, but I find it very helpful to analyze. Giving an example, water, pus, and nectar. Now, to humans, it appears as water. To hungry ghosts, it appears as pus. And to God, it appears as nectar. And it is nothing from its own side. And you can't get anything from its own side. Yet, all three are valid. So therefore, all these three versions which we find in Pali Canon, Mahāyāna Sutra, and Tantra literature are all valid in their own context. And I should warn all the participants, we should understand in their own context. And we can be a very good Buddhist practitioner rather than a Buddhist fanatics. Now, if you look at the specific qualities or characteristics of the four classes Tantra, so the three Tibetan Buddhist lineage of the new translation period, that's Shakya, Kagyu, and Gelug, divides Tantra into four classes. And I have briefly given the characteristics, vows, practical method, and tutelary deity. I don't have much time to go each and every in detail. Now I'll go on to the most important and crucial factor in the Vajrayana tradition, that's empowerment or Wang. So authentic empowerment is a ceremony for activating our evolving Buddha nature factors to stimulate our own stream consciousness and potential. For everyone to progress in a tantric path, so there must be a meeting inner and outer guru, this teacher. So all the realizations in the tantric path comes from the guru. But logically, one has to understand that there are two ways of understanding the guru. For more relative and objective way, guru is the teacher by whom communicating with us in many forms, in many ways, so that we can discover our own totality. But for more deeper and more subjective, the guru is our own inner wisdom. But without attending to the relative guru, we cannot recognize our own deluded mind. So therefore, it is must we have to attend the relative guru and receive empowerment, oral transmission, and verbal instruction. So there are many minor and major features and principles in empowerment. So I don't have much time to go in detail. So if you are interested, so I would warmly welcome to read my research dissertation. So now I will go together with the oral transmission and verbal instruction. So regardless of particular level of teaching or practice that we are talking in the Buddhist tradition, whether it be a Theravāda, Mahāyāna, and Tantrayana or Vajrayana, the only process we should go through is, the students relying on the master. There's the reason for this emphasis on an oral transmission from the time of the Buddha till the present today. The Buddha Dharma has been transmitted and meant to be transmitted orally. So this has been done, that a living tradition is still alive and imbued with the power and blessings of the original teaching. So this also protects the possibility of so-called teachers of the Lama simply coming and sharing their own ideas. Instead, the teacher should pass on the approved tradition based on sutras and tantras. So this makes the Buddhist teaching very different from other learning, and there are possible for people to innovate. In the scheme of transformation, it may be possible for each of us to come with a new system, with a new idea. But when you talk of the Buddha Dharma, the teachings should be connected with the original teaching so that the teachings are valid. Now, I have many quotes and references to share, but because of time limit, I cannot. And a very fascinating is Lila Vajra, the 8th century teacher of the Buddha Srikena, who headed one of the two lineages of Guhya Samaja interpretation. In his commentary on the Sri Guhya Garva, Mahatantaraja explained the self-existence of the Guhya. I quote, "Aho, the Dharma which is the outmost sacred is the intrinsic sacred behind diverse manifestation. Highly sacred through self-existent, than which there is nothing sacred." So when we look or think over the Lila Vajra's precept, it strikes us that it is easy to be irrelevant with the Buddhist Tantra by teaching as doctrine, which in fact is a practice. So as far as human secrecy is concerned, it is easy to go wrong by interpreting the literal words of the Tantra as a practice, while we lack the initial teachings from the teacher, which is empowerment, oral transmission, and instruction. Now, of late, some persons, scholars, and practitioners have said that have found only Saksha Yogi topic to be set forth as the characteristics of Anuttara Yoga Tantra, which is totally wrong. So Lila Vajra informed us that the most important issue and the aim of the Buddhist Tantra is to recognize the hidden clarity of mind in the stream of consciousness, which is obscured by discursive thought. That's why we are deluded. So in order to dispel, or in order to get from that delusion, so we have to meet with the inner and outer guru and to receive these four lineage teaching. That man becomes interested in finding the element hidden in the stream of consciousness is probably the reason for the non-tantric teaching that the Buddhahood is attainable only through the human body, which is a teaching continued in the Tantras, that is Anuttara Yoga Tantra. So with this, owing to my poor intelligence and lack of learning, I may not be pleased all the scholars, practitioners, writers, historians, and empathizers for far and near who have come to attend this a very fascinating conference. So I forgive, and I like to wish all the participants to have a wonderful going back to your country, and we hope to see you all again. Tashidele.